The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, if Kenzie has anything to do with it, 21 Pilots is doing a Halloween show with Q101 coming up.
My favorite spooky group. I love them.
Let's start the show.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Okay, let's go. Hopefully, a lot of you got that 3-day weekend, and happy Father's Day coming in from the weekend. So check in, 312-591-8300. Give that proof of life to us. Kenzie talks all the time about 21 Pilots music is, quote, spooky.
I love it. Spooky is my favorite aesthetic there is. I love Halloween.
Yep.
I love Dia de los Muertos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a witchy woman.
Yep.
Okay? Halloween, just everything about it. And 21 Pilots, they're just spooky. The second I see a pumpkin, I listen to 21 Pilots and I get excited about it.
And she said one day, well, why can't we get him for Halloween? I go, we'll start working on it. That's you're here, you can do whatever you want. Start working on it. Now, we did have the Q101 takeover a few years back when it took over the whole city. And of everybody touring this year, they're not right now.
They're literally free, and no one's jumping on this, and everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, just you got to put the effort in, got to put the work in, got to call them.
I say, because we probably just can't afford them, and I understand that, but I say we throw the charity angle at it because they seem like two nice fellas.
They are.
And I think they're going to feel guilty. They're free. We're doing it for charity. Come on.
So we have to come up with a charity that will guilt them enough to say that where they can't say no. We can't do a normal charity.
Probably something real, like heavy on the children, because
Yeah.
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
We'll actually bring a kid to the pitch who needs their help.
Help this kid.
I'm like,
There
this
you go.
is, if you do the show, they'll feel better.
Just one of the things we're working on behind the scenes here with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
I'm trying.
Hey, you're trying your best you can. Come out, you're an idea person, and we'll work out the rest of it, like securing the bag to make this happen
I'm
some
not a
other way.
logistics person, okay?
Yeah.
I just have ideas.
Just ideas. But let's hear from you. I haven't talked to you in a while here. So especially since the Revivalist pop-up on Friday night out in Lamont. That was incredible. That was so cool.
It was so fun.
The environment on the quarry, the water, the night, the band, the people. Great talking to everybody out there. And all of it exists on Q101.com and our socials, the video and pictures if you missed it. More announcements coming on Q101 pop-ups. More free shows coming up.
And I wanna shout out. So last night I filmed new episodes of my show with my husband, the MVP Game on Marquee Sports Network.
Yep.
And we had 4 awesome listeners there competing in the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Colton, Christina, Steve, and Vicky, and they crushed it. But it was so fun to have people not walk up and go, oh, I listened to the show, and I watched this TV show, and now I'm on this TV show. It was just an absolute blast. But our listeners really showed up and were part of the show last night. It was really cool.
You were acquiring them, Saturday afternoon before the Cubs game? That one, right? That's where you kind of met everybody?
No, that's not where so Saturday we were filming a segment for the TV show called Partners on the Street.
Yep.
So in the middle of the TV show, it cuts away for about 5 minutes, and it's funny street interviews.
Oh, okay.
So I handle casting. I would never cast Saturday for an episode on Monday. I spend weeks casting in advance. But they listened to the show, and then they found out about the TV show, so they applied. And I definitely try to get my Q101 crew on the show if I can. So it was just really fun to have them there.
That's awesome. It's the MVP game on the Marquee Network. So thanks to our crew members getting on there. And hey, thanks for getting them on there, Kenzie.
I know. I'm a big bribe person.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Got several facts that make your brain go. An early one there for 4th of July. I heard fireworks going off already this weekend. People just doing test shots, I guess.
Test shots.
I heard fireworks going off last night. I'm like, whoa, 2 weeks away. Let's go, I guess.
Fireworks shooting range, the little bullseyes in the sky.
Just make sure my accuracy of my fingers pulling off at the right time is good.
See, I think that, in my opinion, and this is probably not a good opinion, just want to throw it out there
Good.
from the jump.
Good preface.
Okay, this is like most of my opinions. Like, statistically, the amount of times you could lose your finger or your hand, I don't think you should practice fireworks. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
statistically, just do it the one night a year. because of the odds, now they lessen.
You just want less fireworks at night.
I'm not, well, yes, but I'm just saying from a statistic standpoint, don't play around, you know?
By putting an M80 in your hand and lighting it, you're still giving your chance to lose a finger. So why practice
so limit it? Just don't practice.
Yeah.
Just limit. Which I don't know if that's smart, but it's just how I view it.
I just think, don't drink too much. The person that's lighting the fireworks. I want everybody to have their fingers after July 4th
not
weekend.
At all? How about why would you throw too much on the end of that sentence?
No, because it's fun. I mean, I definitely want a beer in my hand when I'm watching fireworks or lighting them, but not too much.
If you're watching, you could have a beer in your hand.
Yeah.
If you are running the show, your hands should not have beers in them.
I'm going to have a beer in my hand when I'm lighting some off. I'm not going to listen to you on that
You
one.
honestly don't need both hands to light off a firework.
I can put the beer on my shoulder and balance it to my mouth while I'm lighting it and throw it out. I can do that. With my shoulder, I put it right there and I hold it.
This is heinous. This is the worst advice ever.
Well, this has nothing to do with the facts I'm going to give you, by the way. What I'm going to give you is a fact of how many spiders you swallow while you sleep.
Okay.
That's the truth, and it's coming up here at 6:30 with the Fall Out Boy qualification for Wrigley Field tickets.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, first qualifier of the day, 312-591-8300. Fall Out Boy at Wrigley Field tomorrow night, and you could be there. Caller 10 right now qualifies. We'll draw a winner every half hour, or qualifier, I should say. And then in the 9 o'clock hour at the end of the show, after the last qualifier at 9:30, we'll draw the winner, and you will be at Fall Out Boy tomorrow night. It's finally here.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful night. It's going to be incredible at Wrigley Field. So there you go. Another qualifier coming up in a half hour at 7 o'clock. Now time for a fact that makes your brain go. Here with Brian and Kenzie, Q101 Morning Crew. How many spiders you eat while you sleep? And a lot of people say, if you Google this and go on this wormhole online, that it could be up to 11 to 12 spiders while you sleep.
No.
No?
A night?
A night.
A night?
A night. That's why when you wake up...
Where in the rainforest? Who has that many spiders in their house?
There's that many. Listen, those big daddy longlegs, they eat flies. Never kill a spider in your house, by the way, because they eat other little gnats and mosquitoes. So you just let them live.
That's not gonna happen.
No, let them live.
No.
No?
No.
You're a murderer?
Yes.
So you know the little eye boogers that you get in the morning? That is spider poop.
No, it's not. This is the worst fact segment ever.
Okay, the fact is here that you eat no spiders while you sleep. That's the fact.
Oh, thank you, baby Jesus. I need some positive news on a Tuesday.
Well, this is pretty wild because this story, I think people like to bring this up at a bar you're drinking or some kind of just blow somebody away. Hey, you eat like 10 spiders a night while you sleep. It's like, oh, God, how do you know that? It turns out it's a fake story. It was released by a writer and then in efforts by Snopes, which used to be, remember Snopes?
No. What is that?
Oh, Snopes is a website that used to tell you if you, in fact, type in anything you want that you think is true or like some kind of conspiracy thing, and Snopes proves it and says, no, this is false. They do the research for you. It's kind of like Mythbusters before Mythbusters.
Oh.
And I don't even...
I remember the website The Dirty.
No, it's not like that at all. No.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
Different website, different concept. Snopes just tries to prove things that are right or wrong. And they went to very easily that they did this to prove how easily it is to spread misinformation online by saying you eat all these spiders in your sleep, and now everybody believes it. It's not true.
We should have done that during the presidential campaign. Every time somebody speaks,
yeah,
go on Snopes.
Yep, he's eating spiders. That's it. So I think Snopes still exists as far as a site that tries to prove things wrong.
Type it in?
Yeah, Snopes.
Snopes.
That's it. And it says true or false or still yet to be determined if you type in something like spiders that you eat how many while you sleep. You know what I mean?
Well, now it has a lot of articles.
Yeah, see, you can fall into a wormhole. This could be your weekend.
Oh, there's a lot to do here. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of things that you think are true. You type it in Snopes or something you heard, a conspiracy theory, urban legends, they prove it. This is not.
I got a lot of stuff to talk to you about in the commercial break.
Well, how about this one? Here's another fact that people believe that is not true. We'll give you another one, a bonus one here.
Ooh, but
that you can target fat loss on a particular part of your body, like tummy fat, let's say. And
Can if you go to the doctor, you know what I'm saying?
that's the only way you can do it. That's the only way. But if you work out trying to work out a certain area, that's not true. You can't get rid of fat in a certain area because fat doesn't know where it lives. Fat is just all over your body.
It's just everywhere on me.
Because otherwise, they say if you could do this, then there'd be a lot of fat guys out there with six packs. Because they could just target their stomach and then everything else is fat around them. You can't do it. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You can't just target a spot.
I've been one of those people who's fallen into every like targeted weight loss spot. Because for women, you're always just like, you want your waist smaller. It's like always geared towards that. Or maybe a little less thigh here and there. But anyways, I've had like the waist trainers, I've done corsets, waist training, like all that kind of stuff.
And did it ever work?
I don't know. It's probably, maybe I was confident it was user error. I'm not going to blame the product.
Yeah? You just didn't use it right?
I think when I'm using it eating ice cream, it's not going to have the same impact.
That's something you can't do. You can't be on, the Peloton while eating fish food. My favorite
fish food.
Ben and Jerry's fish food.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm like, that's not what my go-to snack.
Yeah, I didn't mean like just pour like that stuff you pour in a tank, the little paper that you put your fish.
I'd probably be in a lot better shape if that's all I ate.
Have you ever had fish food? Ben and Jerry's fish food?
No.
Oh, so it's fish like the band, Phish.
Ah, got it.
And it is milk chocolate, marshmallow, caramel, and chocolate fishes are in it. And it's the best.
Ooh.
It's the best.
That sounds really good.
It's so good. I've had it for dinner.
You've had it for dinner?
Yes, it's great.
Little fish food for dinner?
Yep. Well, there's a couple facts there that you used to believe, and maybe you still did, and it's not true. Now, some people are also saying that Snopes is fake also.
I know, Snopes is fake. Fake news, Snopes.
It's so funny that you can't prove, like anything that you say now, people will just come back and say, no, that's wrong, with no evidence. Snopes was pretty good. I think it's pretty accurate for a while.
I can't take that name, sir. Why is it called Snopes?
I don't know. Snope. Is it snooping, maybe? Something related to snooping?
Well, I understand the nope part because maybe it's not true. Like, nope.
Yep.
But why Snope?
Well, why don't we Google that during the song here?
Do you think it's on the website?
Maybe.
The name?
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Okay, so I've given you two facts that you thought were true, and they're not. One is you don't eat spiders while you sleep. I think everybody
Yes.
thought that for a long time. And also, you cannot target certain parts of your body to get rid of the fat. Fat is all over your body, whether you're fat, thin, whatever. The fat's there. Otherwise, it'd be a bunch of fat guys running around with six packs if you could just target one spot.
And you know that we were talking about Snopes. Someone says Snopes because we didn't know why it was named that. They said secretly no people eat spiders.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 Morning Crew. And these are Snopes. We got in that conversation because I used to love that website, going to it. Every time something came up that I didn't know was true, I went to Snopes. And then somehow things just get burned out for some reason. And then people just say, well, they were never true to begin with. I think they were. They did a good job. Mythbusters, the same kind of thing. They basically made it into a TV show and did the same thing. They went, like, for example, over the weekend, that big story with that Titanic tourist sub that sank.
Oh, my God.
That people used to say that the Titanic didn't sink. It didn't even happen. Or could Rose have really pulled up Jack onto the door and they survived? Mythbusters proved that it was possible to do that.
I know. Rose sucked. I loved the movie, but geez, Rose.
Does Rose suck worse than Jenny in Forest Gump?
No.
Oh,
Jenny is the worst.
I don't know.
And why is everyone acting like it's an adorable ending to Forrest Gump? That she's like, here's your child you didn't get to know for 5 years. What about that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like you are heinous. What is wrong with you?
There's adorable characters in movies that get this kind of prime treatment of a really admirable person, and they're not. Jenny's one of them. Rose is another one from the Titanic.
I think Rose is pretty good until the whole door thing. I think it's, and she kind of, you know what, actually, because then she throws a priceless heirloom into the ocean that could have helped millions of people have a better life.
Yeah, she could have given it to charity.
She could have, like, donated it
Yeah.
and had Jack live on in that way.
I
He
mean-
probably would have appreciated that. Since he was a penniless person, he could have appreciated such a thing.
When she let Jack go, I'll never forget you. And he goes under, they go down. Sorry for the spoiler alert on a 30-year-old movie,
Too
whatever
bad,
it is.
your fault. You should have watched it.
That's right. All I could think of, you wanted him gone. You wanted him out of there. You got all your fun. You had all your little boy toy stuff on the vacation, and now you're ready to go back and live your privileged life and go do all the things that you told him you were gonna do without him. Because if he was there, you wouldn't have done them.
You know what made me mad, though? Honestly, what made me the most mad out of all the things? Because I loved her for a lot of the movie, and then I'm like, she really tapered off near the end there. She lost me. I didn't like that she got married and had kids and lived a happy life.
Exactly.
But it's like, it's so bad because I understand that she was very young, but it's like, poor Jack loved you with everything. And then you're like, you just hopped on to the next one.
You'd have married the other dude if it wasn't for Jack.
Yeah, and I just feel like it should all these kids, and like that kind of pissed me off. I don't know. And then those kids are like, forget my dad. I want to sit here and hear a story about a different guy my mom used to bone. They were unfazed. They were unfazed about that.
They never talk about that girl's dad, the daughter's dad.
No, they could care less.
Yep.
They could care less about their father. They only wanted to hear about Jack. The whole Rose is out here destroying men's lives.
Yeah, she wouldn't have got to do those things if she didn't marry a rich guy. Jack didn't have any money. So
and this is where it's a little sexist, because imagine a movie where an old man comes in and spends the entire movie talking about who he used to love instead of his wife. You would hate that old man.
Thank you for bringing up that side.
I will bring up that side.
I was going to take that stance, but thank you for taking it for me.
You would hate that old man.
It came better out of your mouth than mine. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Also, it's so funny how I can get everybody upset. Brandon checked in from Algonquin.
Yeah.
Apparently in the book, Forrest is a huge jerk.
But he wasn't in the movie.
He wasn't. But I just think it's funny to picture that Forrest Gump was a jerk in the book, and I didn't know there was a book.
So Jenny is allowed to not tell him he has a son? that justifies the whole thing.
Also, we're becoming the Joe Rogan podcast where you just Google everything you talk about. But I'm like, was there a book, Forrest Gump? I want to know. And was he a huge jerk in there? The book, people always say the book's better than the movie. The book is always better than the movie and everything
There's
you see.
more detail.
Yeah. So Forrest was a jerk. Brandon, I want verification on that. Thank you, man. It's Q101. It's Brian and Kenzie. Don't be a Rose or a Jenny. That's the lesson so far at 647.
Lesson of the day.
Yep.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
So another qualifier for Fall Out Boy Wrigley Field tomorrow night coming up in 10 minutes at 7 o'clock here with Brian and Kenzie on the Q101 Morning Crew. We've gotten a little wormhole here. Talked about the Titanic for a minute. Of course, that missing submarine. We'll talk about that later in the show.
That's insane.
It's like a tourist submarine. There's a billionaire on it, and it's missing. They went down to see the Titanic, but we were talking about a couple.
I have a haunted take.
A haunted take?
Yes.
You want to give it now or you want to wait till later?
I don't know. That's up to you because you host the show.
Well, wait till later. You're a host too.
Okay.
So wait till later on this because I want to get to Brandon.
That's a you thing.
I want to get to Brandon Algonquin. We were just talking about Rose and Jenny and who's a worse person. And all of a sudden he says in the book, Forrest is a jerk. Brandon, ahoy.
Hey, hello.
I didn't know there was a book, by the way. I thought it was a screenplay. I didn't know it was turned into a book, but allegedly Forrest is a jerk in the book?
Yeah, I was talking to my coworker because I work at a library, and what was it? We were talking about like Jaws and like how that's even different than the movie was. But yeah, she was talking about Forrest Gump, and she says apparently in Forrest Gump, like he is like a jerk, and he's really abusive to Jenny in a way where like the movie took it a totally different approach and made him the hero.
Well, yeah, it does make him look pretty good.
Yeah. But,
wow.
Okay, that's kind of a hot take. They read this book where this guy was a total jerk and had this life story, and then they were like, they wanted to make that a movie?
And special needs, by the way. Was he special needs in the book?
I believe so. I mean, I believe it's like pretty much the same story, but it's just for some reason she told me like, yeah, a lot of people don't like it because he's a jerk. Like there's a website called Goodreads where you can see like reviews of books and stuff, and almost every review about it is negative.
Was Jenny nicer? Did they swap the villain?
I don't know. I've never read it. It made me want to maybe go pick it up and read it though because of that. Because yeah, it sounds totally different.
I like we're getting the take from somebody of a friend that read the book, but Brandon didn't read the book.
I feel like I'm in high school again.
No.
This is how I gave my book reports too.
All right, Brandon, we'll check it out. We'll check out Goodreads and we'll check out Forrest Gump, the book, and see who the real villain is. In the meantime, it's Gil Curtis with your headlines.
This is not headline news. Dolly Parton released a new rock song with Rob Halford from Judas Priest. It's called Breakin' the Bra. A new Grammy rule says only humans are eligible to be nominated. Well, you had a good run, Cher. UPS drivers may go on strike. They're demanding longer breaks and shorter shorts. And the section of I-95 in Philadelphia that collapsed will reopen within 2 weeks. Even better, it's going to include a ramp. Just make sure you're driving 65 to make it to the other side. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
I want to give a shout out to Scott checking in from Kenosha. So he had a baby girl over the weekend. And
Rosalie.
Rosalie Diane. What a cool name.
I swear, hand to God. So my middle name's Rose, and I begged my husband, like, when we have more children in the future, if we have a girl, I wanted to name my daughter Rosalie so bad. He said no, but I wanted to so bad. So I love that name.
Rosalie Diane. Thanks for texting the picture. He says that Saturday he had his first child, and the message 9 months ago that you guys were the first to know my wife was pregnant. So we want to give a shout out. Welcome to the world, Rosalie Diane.
Beautiful name, seriously.
Scott, happy Father's Day. Well, yeah, he got his first Father's Day 24 hours after the baby came.
That's awesome.
Congrats, my man. I don't mean to play this song. This is next in order here.
It's just what it was there.
Yeah, loser. I'm sorry. It's just, but you'll be a winner if you stick around after Beck, because we'll get you qualified for Fall Out Boy at Wrigley Field in 3 minutes. It's Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.